Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing at the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. Once again, early access, and yeah, it's chaos. It's chaos against what are they called? Vampire Coast. Yeah, that's right. I know what I'm doing. Against Turin, so it should be a fun one. So basically, my strategy here is to have a ton of Forsaken, so I can chop through the fodder as quickly as possible. They have enough armor that just the sort of deckhands, the normal gunners, aren't going to do a huge amount of damage. And also, I've got a load of Marauders as well that can actually match up pretty well against them. And they're cheap, and they have some missile resist. So, yeah, it's just a flood them, basically. But there are some vulnerabilities, but I think it's a fun build. Just, you know, try and hit everything at once, super wide, and I've got some halberds, so that way, anything like rotting Prometheans and things like that, I have a counter for that too. So that's the plan. Also, I have a couple of chariots as well. Chaos chariots, I don't know how great they're going to be, but they were... You'll see, they're weirdly useful, but not for running down infantry. I know, seems odd, but I make use of them, and you'll see, they're actually pretty useful for me. Also, I have some poison Chaos Warhounds, which are a lot of help. Now, this build is a little bit crazy. Turin was going a bit off the wall here. So he's got a load of deck droppers, handguns. I've got nothing to deal with them. They're going to be able to use all their ammo. I have nothing. Absolutely nothing to stop them. Also, he has 2 Terrorgeists. Obviously, they got the breath attacks, but they will need to land to get a lot of damage in. And, oh, one thing I didn't mention, I have Archaon on foot, by the way. So he's got a load of armor piercing now. I mean, look, his weapon strength, it actually says it's armor piercing. It didn't before. So he has way more armor piercing now, which is really nice. It makes him a lot better. And with the Slayer of Kings as well, you know, you can see it just adds a lot of damage. And so he's going to be really good with that. Also, Stand Your Ground is nice, but with the Crown of Domination, which is here... You can see it does make people immune to psychology, so if it turns into a massive just ball of infantry, I'm not going to have all my guys terrifying away, which is actually pretty useful. Also, Flaming Sword of Ruin, great for giving some magic attacks. He's also got the Fireball as insurance for bloated corpses, basically, and Piercing Bolt if they blob up, especially Depth Guard. I was worried about, and I know that Piercing Bolts can do a lot of damage to them, you know, if I can blob them up. Also, Cascading Fire Cloak is a nice thing just to spam on units that are in combat to keep their melee defense nice and high. So, yeah, I've got some good tools. So anyway, yes, back to this. So, apart from all of this crazy, he's actually gone pretty cheap. It's just a load of deck-handed polearms is basically all he's got, and the bloated corpse. But they're all protecting Cylostra Diaphragm, and she's going to be pretty scary. I mean, she's on the Rotting Leviathan, and it's... God, I love this thing. It just looks so good. And look at all the little teeth in its mouth moving. Wow, I love it. Beautifully animated, and it's wearing a ship, which is always fun. You gotta love things that are wearing a shipwreck. So yeah, very scary. Also, Lore of the Deep. So he's got Ghost of the Past, which is actually Lore of the Deep. That's just Cylostra's thing. She can summon damned knights errant. So ethereal knights errant. So that's pretty cool. Really good to have like a terror-causing rear-charging thing on demand. Very nice. Also, Song of Enthrallment, that's going to lower melee attack, which is definitely going to help his Tar Pit survive. Also, Arcane Conduit's going to help do more spells, and Fog of the Damned, again, lowering melee attack, which is very scary. Denizens of the Deep, that's right, Rotting Prometheans, yeah, my halberds are going to have the work cut out for them. And Spiteful Shot to raise accuracy, which I don't think is entirely useful. It might be alright on the handguns, but I think they're kind of fine as it is. So, speeding things up. You can see, yeah, I'm under attack. My Forsaken are getting shot to pieces. All of them, which is really annoying. They're very valuable, and they're going to get shot to pieces. So here, he's going for a breath attack. And, yeah, I know he's under attack. I want to see his health bar, please. Go on, shoo. Shoo! Didn't do much, so that's good. That's good news. But, yeah, my Forsaken, they're having a lot of trouble. So, I'm constantly just running around. Obviously... If the Deathstreak Terror guys land on any of this stuff, it's gonna get, you know, terrified away immediately, frankly. So I just keep trying to move everything. Now, you know, he's coming into the rear to try and bother my halberds, I believe, is his next target, because he knows they're going to be a problem for Cylostra. So he's trying to deal with them. Also a problem for the Terrorgeists when they land as well. So you want to deal with them. Definitely want to deal with them. So I'm moving on with everything, you know, just trying to get to his front line. Obviously, uphill battle, which is a bit annoying, but this stuff sucks. You know, all these polearms are rubbish. Forsaken going to kill him in seconds. So that's good. But all the other summons are going to be a problem. And I'm just suffering so many casualties. I mean, you know, so much damage. And I haven't been able to retaliate. But, honestly, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. You know, I feel like the handguns, they're getting some good work in. The bombs aren't doing a huge amount. Oh, yeah, near here, I actually hit the bloated corpse with a fireball. Because I wanted to kill it early. And it didn't kill it. So I charged the chariots into it. Chariots, they don't take much damage from a bloated corpse. Bloated corpses are great against big model count stuff. So against, you know, my marauders or my forsaken, it would do a lot of damage. So I did actually stop my lines from advancing because of the bloated corpse, and now I need to start moving them all in again, because right now they're just sat there being shot at. I mean, look at that. Almost lost unit halberds, which is devastating. So here you can see the Terrorgeist did run in to try and deal with my chariots there. I think the same thing happened over here. Nope, it's just come in trying to support Cylostra. But now it is hunting my chariots. So my halberds are coming in, and yeah, Archon's in there having a whale of a time. You know, the deckhands, they're just getting shredded to pieces. But he has summoned some rotting Prometheans, so they're going to cause a bit of a problem for me. They're going to do well, good armor piercing. They're going to be a good counter to the Forsaken, especially with the lowered melee attack. Thanks to the Fog of the Damned. So that's very scary. Oh, and the Summon Withdrawal. I have 0 melee attack for all of these units. That sucks a lot. So here, this is what I'm talking about. So the chariots, not very useful for killing anything in particular. Oh, and there's the damn Knights Errant. Ugh, yeah, damn them indeed. So, Chaos Chariots, you just have a bit of mass. You know, the Terrorgeist can't run through them, so the Terrorgeist have been pinned down for my halberds to attack it. And over here, it looks like Archaon's going to be fighting the Terrorgeist. The thing with the Terrorgeist for the Vampire Coast is they don't have anti-large, they just have better stats. So, actually, having Archaon on the ground, usually I do that against the Vampire counts, so that the benefit of anti-large can't, you know, affect him. But here, they don't need to worry about it, it's just going to be the charge bonus. But luckily their melee attack is quite low generally, so Archaon's going to be able to get some good damage in, and frankly the Forsaken will be able to hit him pretty hard. So here, another summon. Oh my god, I love that ability. It looks so good. So, more Rotting Prometheans can be a real problem. Oh, and they're super loud. Like, probably too loud. But anyway, Knights are trying to deal with my Chaos Chariots. But again, I'm coming with the Chaos Warriors and Halberds. I'm giving them some extra armor-piercing damage, as well as the melee defense. That's the one. Icon words. Sorry, I think this is the 7th commentary I've recorded today. So, yeah, I'm really trying to get stuff done for you guys. Anyway, here you can see the Terrorgeist really getting screwed here. You know, the poison from the Demon Spew is really helping. Stand or Die has been procced, so he can't really get any hits in. He's suffering horribly. So that Terrorgeist is really not in a good, you know, having a good time with things. He's trying to retreat, but I'm going to keep chasing him. He's crumbling. As long as I can keep hitting in the back, he's going to keep crumbling. So here, I've also used Flaming Sword of Ruin, which, as you can see, these Knights are, yeah, they're just going to get completely slaughtered now. I mean, they have no armor, so the Forsaken got to rip through them with that magic damage. They're doomed. So they're just being melted. But the Royal Promethean is still a bit of a problem, but it's not the end of the world. Cylostra, she's barely been hurt. That crab is just attacking everybody. It's a real nuisance, but I've got rid of all the flak, and she's kind of run out of summons now. I think she has one more damn Knights Errant to use, but the chance of her getting more Rotting Prometheans out is pretty slim. They're expensive, and certainly with him using other spells. Ooh, that was actually a pretty good hit. Damn you, Terrorgeist. So yeah, the Terrorgeist did get away. The other Terrorgeist is looming. But here, Hound's coming in, so I'll be able to poison Cylostra, and I've got all the lovely anti-large here. So another Cascading Fire Cloak to try and keep them in the fight, because I need these guys to be survivable, because they have a lot of work to do, especially with the other Halberds having been wiped out, I think. Oh no, there they are. Yeah, only 15 models. So I need to keep these guys healthy to fight all this big stuff. There's Cylostra going, ah, again, which is amazing. Deathstreak Terrorgeist coming back in, but I'm just keeping the chariots. You know, the chariots are coming in here to bog this guy down. But unfortunately, with all these debuffs, the Fog of the Damned, I just have rubbish stats right now. And with Flaming Sword of Ruin giving me extra damage, that's great, but they have to be able to hit to do that. So that's a real pity. So now, it looks like he's pulled out to just try and deal with these Forsaken that are on the edges, but Cylostra is slowly getting dragged down by these Chaos Warriors, and these guys are very resilient. It's very difficult for her to land hits on them. So anyway, go for the Forsaken. I'm coming with the Chariots again to try and pin them in place, which definitely helps. I mean, the Chariots, like, no kills on them. Yeah, they've been doing really rubbish, but they've kept stuff busy. And Turin has realised this, so he's using his deck droppers with handguns, now out of ammo, to dive on top of them to pin them down. So I'm trying to get my Hounds to come and help. I need to clear these guys up so I can keep using my Chariots to pin things. But Stand or Die has been used, so more melee defense for everybody. It looks like he's trying to go for Archaon, and then he changes his mind. So that's good news. I have a load of infantry starting to come back in, and Cylostra is still getting dragged down. There's not a huge amount she can do against the Chaos Warriors with halberds, so that is good news for me. So I'm putting some Marauders out and around. I don't want everything blobbed up, because all the big AoE abilities and breath attacks are going to be a pain. But I've still got a lot of my damage dealers in here getting work done, so that's good. So Cylostra is getting dragged down, and here, though, these deck droppers won't die. They just won't die. I mean, the Hounds, 26 melee attack and poison, 22 melee defense, and yeah, they're not getting dragged down. It's very annoying. So they don't have the best defense, the deck droppers. I mean, Fellbats have got like double the defense the deck droppers do. But anyway, Cylostra, she's running out. Another Fog of the Damned, lowering my melee attack a huge amount, and the Song of Enthrallment. So 26 melee attack for Archaon, despite 2 massive debuffs. His melee attack is very good. So that's nice. But anyway, melee defense of 42 on the Terrorgeist, which is actually pretty good for a monster. But hopefully I can drag him down. I got my chariots pinning them in place. But with all of these debuffs to melee attack that Cylostra can command, it's very tough to be able to get hits in when they land. So now the debuffs are worn off, he's just going to leave again. So he's not going to be in the fight unless he knows that I can't really hit him. So it is very clever. So here you can see deck droppers now trying to bother my marauders, fair enough. Some units running away again, but they'll be returning. And Cylostra is super damaged right now, and she has no way of healing. So that's good. You know, there's no invocation in a heck in this army. So that is great for me. So here you can see the Terrorgeist trying to get Archaon again. Really, his only hope is to crush Archaon, and then he can just terror out my whole army. But as long as Archaon stays alive, I should be fine. So another stand or die to make sure that his melee defense is high enough that the Terrorgeist can snipe him out. And now I've once again managed to surround Cylostra, and she is suffering a huge amount of casualties. He's throwing the deck droppers to try and relieve her, but she is starting to crumble now. Once again, he's going for Archaon, so I'm going to double the halberds back, I believe. And it's going to be another Fog of the Damned. Oh my god, it is. How? How is he doing this? She has so much magic. So, yeah, pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. But it looks like she's going to go down. I mean, she's so injured. But she does manage to get the damned Knights Errant out again. So they're going to be charging into me. They'll cause terror in the absence of her. And, well, I guess the Terrorgeist, you know, they have terror too. But still, one Terrorgeist is dead. So I just have to worry about this one. Now all the Knights are running in. And I don't have enough Winds of Magic for another, what's called Flaming Sword of Ruin. So I can't get magic damage on anyone but Archaon. Archaon has magic damage. But he's being hunted a bit by the Terrorgeist. I'm charging in with my Chaos Chariots, trying to bog him down again. You can see leadership is terrible. And Cylostra is still crumbling. She is still crumbling despite being out of the combat. She's trying to waddle back in on a giant crab. You know, try and back up the damn Knights Errant. The damn Knights Errant, they don't have a lot of melee attack. They only really do the damage on the charge. It's the fact they're ethereal and you can summon them, you know, behind enemy lines that makes them valuable. They're not great in just sustained combat like this. So, yet again, another Song of Enthrallment lowering my stats. But he's retreating, so I'm getting my stats back as he runs away, and she is still crumbling. So, honestly, Cylostra would have been probably better off staying in here. Honestly. I think she would have been better just waiting in here, trying to back up everything. But off she goes. And the Terrorgeist is getting dragged down. The Knights are coming for another charge, and I do have a lot of units breaking, but I still have some pretty healthy halberds. He just wasn't able to deal with them. You know, I kept using Stand or Die and Cascading Firecloak, so they've had, yeah, like 74 melee defense most of the battle, and that has kept them alive, because luckily the handgunners were busy shooting other things. So I got lucky there, for sure, being able to keep them in the fight. And now it's just down to the damn Knights Errant, and I'll be dealing with them. No terror here. Archaon's in command here. So, and magic damage. He's, you know, going to skewer one. Nope, no time. Oh. Isn't that cute? The last one alive was the one Archaon was fighting. Anyway, Pyrrhic victory. Hooray! I won. But yeah, a lot of fun. And yeah, this is Turin, by the way, as you can probably tell. If you're aware of Turin's channel, then Bonesaw is ready. It's a pretty typical alias. Follows all the hallmarks of Turin. But yeah, you see a ton of damage with Cylostra. She did a great job. Really tanky, really hard to kill. And you just can't afford to bring a load of sort of elite stuff against the Vampire Ghost. And you can't really afford to have a load of some Marauder horsemen, you know, with throwing axes. Because frankly, they just get killed by guns so easily. They are so flimsy, just deck mobs, you know. Could just kill them with the cheap handgun fire. They don't have the range to be able to compete with that stuff, so it's very difficult. So taking something out like a Rotting Leviathan is actually quite difficult for Chaos. It's a long, atrocious fight, because you just can't bring a lot of dedicated armor piercing, you know, to sort of blow her away. Doesn't work. Just doesn't work. It's too much of a risk. Although I think Chariots here, just weird, honestly. I still don't have a gauge for it. They were super useful in this fight, just because they had some mass, which was kind of nice. But I reckon if there was a cannon or two, they just get wiped out immediately. They just get shot to pieces. So I think it's a gamble, but they were useful for not the obvious reasons in this one, which I thought was interesting all the same. But, you know, my Forsaken just chewed through all that infantry, and, yeah, my Halberds did a fine job. Very few kills. I mean, 0 and 13, terrible. But this guy earned 3 chevrons. 3! Just because he did so... They basically just took down Cylostra all on their own. You know, it was all these halberds doing it. So yeah, 3 chevrons for those Chaos Warriors. So 13 kills, but a lot of work. A lot of work. So yeah, the Bloated Corpse, I think a pretty good pick against Chaos, honestly. But you got to watch out. Single model targets don't really take any damage. Chariots don't really take any damage. It's only the big blobs of infantry. So obviously if you had a load of Chosen, that would have been great, you know, because bringing sort of missile cav is risky, and that's all you really have for missiles as Chaos. So it makes it difficult to counter something like a Bloated Corpse. You've got to use either sort of Spirit Leech or, I guess, Overcast a Fireball, or just throw single model entities at it to try and, you know, cause it to explode early. That's what you got to do, really. But yeah, I think there's definitely a place against Chaos, the Bloated Corpses. I think they're one of the few matchups the Bloated Corpses might actually be super useful. Against Vampire Counts, maybe not so much. If there's Death Magic, 1 Spirit Leech will cause them to explode. So, you know, that's a nice easy way to get rid of them. Oh, and if you use a Spirit Leech while they're amongst their own lines, you'll end up getting a load of kills out of it, so it's pretty funny. I just love the idea of a bomb unit. It's pretty great. But yeah, so that's that. That is that. And this has been another early access video. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.